This is the all-new 2019 Hyundai Kona EV. Yes, the 100% electric compact crossover from Hyundai. You know what? I'm going to go straight up, right out and say it. I completely love everything about it. We can talk about styling if you want. The cladding might be a little bit strange for some of you. I get it, how the bumper kind of blends in with the flare in the back. I do like this color, the red. I forget what it's called. I think it's pure red. The front end, well, it's not to everyone's liking, but you can always get a personalized license plate and say Stormtrooper or Strooper or whatever. I don't know. Pricing for the base preferred, $44,999, which means it is eligible for all the incentives. My tester is a $51,999 ultimate. What explains the difference in price? Leather seats, ventilated front seats, sunroof, an 8-inch screen instead of the standard 7-inch, infinity audio, heads-up display, and a few other gadgets. Why am I so excited about this thing? Well, you see, today the family and I decided to go on a little road trip to go and see Grandpa. It's a 165-kilometer one-way trip, and obviously the kids came with us. And everything fits. Oh no, believe me, everything does fit. We all really need a big, massive SUV. Well, I won't say no to that, but there it is. That's 544 liters of trunk space, completely used up, or just about. So that's the giant stroller that I put up. So yes, the cover for the trunk is gone. But with the seat here, in that hole is where both diaper bags were set up. I won't show you what's under the floor there, but there are a couple of bins, very useful. 544 liters. I don't really see it, but the point is, it works, it fits. The back seat, yes, it is completely taxed, but still. Okay, so my son's giant seat takes up all the space, and his feet do rub against the seat back, but it's doable. My daughter's base, that works out beautifully. Not that you can really tune because there's all kinds of junk. Well, no, you can't really put someone there, but you know, in a pinch you could squeeze someone there. Up front, well, everybody's happy. In my leather covered ventilated seats, plenty of room. Same thing up here. The wife is comfortable. All right, so let's get into the Kona EV and start her up. Alright, I'm going to show you the heads-up display now. So the button is here. Really useless. I don't like it. Mazda 3 had one. They discontinued it. I don't know why Hyundai's doing this, but I'm done with that. The neatest part is seeing it go up and down. That's it. Anyway, so here are your gauges. Very straightforward. They do change slightly with the drive modes. The button is right down here. What I do like is you press it once and it changes, as opposed to needing 2 presses. There's even Eco Plus mode that you can see there. Everything is so straightforward, right? You have your remaining range. Now I'm down to 230. And then you're charging your power on the other side, your speed. You can change the menus too if you want to play around with that. This is the 8-inch screen, which is lovely, and I love the way it sits up top here. You can actually wrap your fingers around it to select your menus. All of that, satellite radio, Apple CarPlay. I'm not connected, but it's all there. Everything is included in this, including nav for this model. Full setup. Anyhow, the menus are fabulous. I love the controls. This is like the first time that Hyundai doesn't make something cheap look that cheap. They actually feel nice. Like the haptic feedback is really good. What else can I say? Oh, this is slightly, not annoying, but it's happened on a few occasions where I've done a 3-point turn and have gone from reverse to drive, and the button wouldn't respond. So I actually ended up staying in reverse, hitting the throttle, and scooting backwards instead of forward. Anyway. Heated steering wheel, that's included in all the models. There's an auto hold button. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment, I think. And that's it. There is room for your entire life, kind of, in this tiny little 100% Kona electric. And yes, everything fits. The pricing is a little bit steep, but that's besides the point, because the drive is actually quite fun. So let's do the usual thing and go for a So if we get right down to it, this road trip that I'm on, we left this morning with 435 kilometers of indicated range. That's when set in eco drive mode. Not that it makes much of a difference, even if it's a normal or sport. The distance to travel is about 165 kilometers. And well, I'm not one to drive at the speed limit. And I wanted to drive this as though it was mine. So what that turned out, or what it turned into, sorry, is that the indicated range is 240 kilometers. So I used up 195 kilometers to cover 165. That's indicated range. But battery state, I'm just under 2/3. So I'm at about 64% of battery capacity remaining, which means that I could easily go back home without even charging. But I will charge. You never know, right? Always better be safe than sorry. So on a level 2 charger, it's about 9.5 hours to get a full charge from empty. But in the area where I'm at right now, there are a couple of 400 volt chargers. So I figured in about a half an hour, give or take, I'll easily get 100 and change kilometers of range. So I'll be more than okay for the trip back home. And the trip is pain-free, worry-free, and a lot of fun. 150 kilowatt permanent magnet motor, which is the equivalent of about 201 horsepower, 290 pound-feet of torque, which means that even if you're stuck behind a left lane hog at 99 kilometers an hour, if you put your foot down, even in normal mode, never mind sport, this thing will pick up real fast. And the beauty with the way everything is set up, it'll sustain, or the acceleration will be sustained. I mean, there won't be a steady drop off in power delivery. It's quite nice. The battery is a 64 kilowatt hour unit. So with the engine, right, that's what gives you, with the electric motor, sorry, that's why you have a total range of 415 kilometers. But as I said, indicated was 435 when I left my house earlier today. I'm blown away by how wonderful this thing actually is. Steering, everything's set normal again, is totally fine. I mean, it's better than a Veloster, and there's no on-center slop. None whatsoever. Brakes feel great. Brake regen has 4 modes. So actually, I'll just leave it as is, right? So you can actually set it to 0, so you can coast. Then there's a 1, 2, and 3. And because it's a full EV, once you set it in 1, 2, and 3, it stays in 1, 2, and 3. But because it's a permanent magnet type electric motor, it won't come to a full stop. But there is a auto hold setup, so you won't have to keep your foot on the brake. In fact, in max regen as I am now, I'm just going to set it back up into Eco Drive. There's an Eco Plus too if you press and hold, but that 90 kilometers an hour is your max speed, and you lose a bunch of functionalities, which is a pain in the butt, especially in the winter. So Eco is your best friend, but you will slow down to probably about 6 or 7 kilometers an hour. So it's not really a stop, but you know, you can just kind of brush over the brake pedal and you will come to a stop fairly easily. Here, I'll do it right now. 7 kilometers an hour, you tap the brakes and off you go. On the highway, the suspension on this thing is a multi-link rear, so fully independent. It handles really, really well, even with these Nexen low rolling resistance tires. But on these broken roads, just to give you an idea, picture Gulf War era Baghdad. After a series of bombings, the roads here are actually worse, which explains why my phone is shaking as though I was in the middle of an earthquake. But even so, the ride quality is really good. This thing is really, really good. I don't know that I'd get an Ultimate like this. Vented seats are nice, the leather, the sunroof, blah, blah, blah. But the regular preferred version for just under $45K, which makes it eligible for all kinds of rebates and incentives, If you can find one, that would be the one to get. I am truly enamored with this thing. It's a little snug, but as you can see, my life, at least for one day with the family, fits. Great job, Hyundai. Great job.